Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer will engage in high-level talks with top U.S. officials in Washington. A spokesperson for the White House National Security Council has confirmed the meeting, which was expected to take place on Tuesday. Now, Dermer, who is a close ally of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, will meet with U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Their discussions are expected to be focused on matters related to the ongoing conflict in Gaza and the urgent release of hostages held by Hamas. These face-to-face meetings come at a crucial time in relation to the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Now, as per the reports, the meet plans for eventually scaling down the war and transitioning to a low-intensity operation in Gaza. According to an Israeli official, Dermer is also anticipated to address the issue regarding Israel's weapons arsenal. He is also expected to request the U.S. to expedite weapons supplies. This comes after Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant spoke with Blinken last week and voiced concerns regarding a munitions supply delay. Blinken told Gallant that the delay was not political in nature when he was questioned whether it was. Now, according to two U.S. officials, there hasn't been a decision to halt the supply of weapons to Israel. They have claimed that it is just a paperwork issue. Now, our correspondent Susan Tehrani tells us more about this in this next report. Listen in.
One of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's ministers and confidants was in Washington on Tuesday, and according to administration officials, he was scheduled to meet with Secretary of State Antony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. This meeting comes at a critical inflection point in Israel's war against Hamas. On the one hand, discussions were expected to surround U.S. role moving forward, notably because Biden administration officials have been calling for a cooling down of Israel's campaign in Gaza to a more targeted attack. Reports indicate that Israel is indeed thinking of moving to the next phase of the war, as they put it. And then second of all, the question of what happens after this war and who will control Gaza. Those were the questions and the topics expected to be discussed as well. We do know that the United States has been calling for a two-state solution. However, the devil is in the detail when it comes to that, and we'll have to see whether or not the two warring sides would even agree to something like that at this point in time. This, as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called for a long war against Gaza and Hamas. All of this, of course, is not happening in a vacuum. It comes at a time when the Biden administration is increasingly concerned that this war will spill over to other parts of the Middle East region, as U.S. forces have been attacked more than 100 times, mostly by Iran proxy groups in Iraq, Syria, and elsewhere. They say the reason they have stepped up their attacks against the United States and its forces in the region is because of U.S. support for Israel. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.